Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo and of course Michael. And as always, we're sitting in DC traffic and it sucks. Worse than the Redskins, if you can believe that. Well, that's it. Today is the last day of mini camps. The team is done working out until they report to Oxnard on the 22nd of July. 5 weeks from now. The good news is, once that happens, it's going to be football talk every single day till the Super Bowl. We will have more football to talk about than we will know what to do with. Now, at the moment, we still have Dez Bryant, who has not given up hope of getting Darrelle Revis in Dallas. Now, personally, I think the team has looked at it and said, we don't want that big contract. We think that he's done. We don't really think that he's going to help us. But Dez Bryant would love to have that guy there. When you start looking at the team, somebody who they don't talk a lot about, because people keep saying, we need that veteran presence in there. And I do believe that, a good veteran would be possible. But I think the forgotten man out there who could be the guy who has a breakout year is Anthony Brown. Anthony Brown wasn't expected to do any playing for Dallas that first year. I mean, he was a late round draft pick. But part of the reason why Brandon Carr, who was signed for $55 million, who we thought was going to be the guy, was expendable. Of course, we drafted the glass man, Morris, I can't stay on the field, Claiborne, and thought that he was going to be the guy because he was the best defensive player, as they put it, in the draft. He wasn't the guy. The funny thing in football, a lot of times it's the guy that you don't expect to be the guy that becomes the guy. And here's what's interesting. Anthony Brown got thrown into the fire early in his rookie year. And the first half of the season, about 88% of the passes thrown his way were completed. Okay, not great. But as the season went on, he got better and better. In fact, the last 5 games of the season, only 50% of the passes were completed against him. But here's the interesting part on that. Yards giving up per completions, he was numero uno in the NFL. He was the best at getting up yards, or not giving up yards, in the NFL. That's better than guys like Mouth Almighty, Josh Norman, Richard Sherman. He was the best. But you don't hear about that too much. That's why those other guys became expendable. That's why a guy like Orlando Scandrick sees the writing on the wall. They drafted 3 cornerbacks, and they've got this guy right here, along with Byron Jones. Sorry, 4. Michael corrected me. 4 cornerbacks. So, I look at him, if he can take off where he left last season, he might be the guy we have been looking and waiting and trying to get on this team. That's my hope. But I still can't wait for the season to get here. I mean, I'm tired of listening to all the doubters out there that think that the Cowboys are going to fall into the normal rut where a team makes the playoffs and then they don't the next year, or they win the division and then they go into the basement. I don't think that's going to happen, because I feel like this is the 92 team all over again, Young guys that are hungry, that are out to prove themselves. This group that's a family. Now, I've been talking about Taco and saying that he's been kind of forgotten. But if I'm going to talk about Taco a bit, we've got Leon Lett working with Taco right now. The big cat. likes tacos. And the great thing for Taco is every day he's going against the best left tackle in football. And if you can beat that guy, hey, nobody out there you can beat. It definitely was beneficial to DeMarcus Lawrence, because DeMarcus Lawrence, when he's been healthy, has been pretty good. Even Randy Gregory in spots, having to play against Tyron Smith, showed potential. So getting that work in against that guy, hey, that's going to make him a whole lot better. So we'll see what happens, but we're dealing with the numbers game because we have so many guys that have potential. Because you got Topper in there. Yeah, I see. Congestion. You got to love it. Street sign up there says, congestion ahead, expect delays. Really? You mean for the last half an hour, I didn't know I had congestion in front of me? Freaking signs. You know, that's the kind of stuff that just makes you mad. But you got guys like Topper out there who has all the tools, who was injured last year, and he's chomping at the bit to get out there. You got Collins in there who played really, really well. We've got so many guys that are ready to rock and roll. And we've got the big cat out there working with them. Charles Haley will be out there working on it. We're talking about legendary Dallas Cowboys teaching their craft to this younger generation. What do you think about that, Mike? Anything? Oh, he doesn't want to be on the camera. But, and to answer some of the questions, if Michael is a Dallas Cowboy fan, he is a die-hard Dallas Cowboy fan like me and my father. He's the third generation in my family that grew up here outside of Washington, D.C., sticking it to the Washington Redskins. Something tells me this is going to be another long night, especially when you're fighting rush hour traffic just to get there. So friends, no big news out of training camp. And that's a wrap. I will see you guys here later on.